What's up, guys? It is the Keeping It Raw podcast back at you with another video on today. We're going to get right back into it. We're going to drop another in-depth video on Donovan Peoples-Jones because the Lions did pick him up and on the trade deadline. So we're gonna dive a little bit deeper into the situation with Donovan Peoples-Jones because if you do not know, Donovan Peoples-Jones is from Detroit. He played with Cass Tech. He was a 5-star wide receiver. And this Duke is flat out ball, man. I think it's a great opportunity for him to land with Detroit. I remember in the draft process, he was one of the guys that I wanted the Detroit Lions to select as a receiver a few years ago, and the Lions decided to pass on him. But at the same time, a few years later, the Detroit Lions decide to take Donovan Peoples-Jones, who is only 24 years old. So he's not even in his prime yet. So I definitely think that this is an insurance policy. And the reason why I say that is because I believe that at the end of the day, if Jameson Williams doesn't work out with the Detroit Lions, Donovan Peoples-Jones could be that number 2 wide receiver. That's what I truly believe, that Donovan Peoples-Jones could be the number 2 wide receiver. But we're going to see when he plays with Detroit how Detroit is going to use him, because he can do it all. He can stretch the field. He can run punt returns back. He can run kickoff returns. This dude can do it all. Donovan Peoples-Jones, and he's that receiver that Detroit has been lacking. That big, physical, strong receiver that they've been lacking, that they needed. And pretty much by them releasing Marvin Jones, it allowed them to go get a younger guy and a guy that they can bring in and acclimate him to the system and get him going. You know, I know he got to learn the playbook and everything like that, but to me, he reminds me of the situation with Anquan Bolden. And when Anquan Bolden came over to the team, the Lions utilized him pretty good. Matthew Stafford at the time really got him involved in the offense, Anquan Bolden, and he kind of reminds me of that situation. I think that Donovan Peoples-Jones could be utilized like an Anquan Bolden on this team. Anquan was a beast. We know he's one of the best wide receivers. I definitely think that he should be a Hall of Fame receiver. I don't know if he's going to get that opportunity to be a Hall of Fame receiver, but he should be a Hall of Fame receiver because Anquan Bolden was definitely a baller, man. And when he played with Detroit, he played well. He played well with the Lions. But Donovan Peoples-Jones, I think, was a great pickup for the Lions. It wasn't the pickup that everybody thought. I think everybody was thinking along the lines of getting a defensive end or a defensive tackle or a corner or something like that of that magnitude. But Brad Holmes decided to just roll with what he has and save the money that he has. And hopefully, man, Brad Holmes is doing the right thing. You know, Hutch needs help. He can't do it by himself. He needs help on that defensive line. He needs a younger guy, athletic guy on that defensive line with them. Whether they get a defensive tackle that's athletic or you get a defensive end that's athletic, that's what they truly, truly need. But the pickup with Donovan Peoples-Jones was a great pickup for the Lions. And I think that if Jameson Williams doesn't work out, I definitely think that he'll be that number 2 receiver on this team. The guy is still young, and I'm loving everything about it. And he's the type of receiver that the Lions need. He's a different type of receiver because number 1, he can stretch the field. Number 2, he can also be utilized in the return game. Number 3, you know what I'm saying, he's coming off one of his best seasons with the Cleveland Browns. Now this year, so far, Cleveland hasn't really used him like they would normally. Because they picked up a couple other receivers. I know they picked up Elijah Moore, and then they have you got Cooper, Maury Cooper that's over there as well. But at the same time, man, I think that Donovan Peoples-Jones is going to be the type of receiver that the Lions ultimately, at the end of the day, they need in Detroit. He's going to be one of those type of receivers. I think that he's going to be putting it down, and I'm loving it, man, because Donovan Peoples-Jones is who I wanted a few years ago. And now that it comes to fruition, he's going back home and getting the opportunity to play in front of his family. I know he's going to want to show out. And he's going to want to show up, show out, and dominate. So definitely, man, I can't wait to see Donovan Peoples-Jones in his first game with the Detroit Lions because I really think that this could be special. But I want to see Jameson Williams work as well. But if it doesn't work, it is what it is. I think that when Brad Holmes drafted Jameson Williams, he drafted him because he wanted to use that speed. And it's not really working out in his favor right now. But we'll see, man. The book is not closed on J-Mo. I want to see J-Mo ball out too as well. But I definitely think that Donovan Peoples-Jones was a good pickup for the Detroit Lions going forth. All right, you guys, this is the Keeping It Raw podcast, and I'll be back to you soon with another video. I'm out of here until next time. Peace.